What's up? So, I came to this realization the other day that maybe it was today, shit. That if you don't tell stories, you'll forget them. Because, like, there's this one piece of the story that I just can't remember right now. and, but it just made me think, like, if you don't tell these stories, then you're definitely just going to forget little shit. Little by little, it's just going to fade away. The story that I was telling was this girl I dated. She later became a tattoo artist. But she had asked me to teach her to tattoo, and I was like, oh, hell no. And, like, people were like, why wouldn't you teach her to tattoo? And, like, because I didn't want to be around that bitch all the time. Like, we didn't get along. But we fucked. So, I don't know. Anyway, so, I don't remember what our fight was about. Like, I cannot remember what our fight was about for the life of me. But I said something to her. I said some words to her. And she slashed my couches and destroyed all my shit in our apartment. And when I got to the apartment and saw everything, I was like blown the fuck away, right? Because I didn't cheat on her. Like, I don't know what I can't fucking remember the life of me why that bitch cut up my couches. I mean, I said something good, I'm sure. I used to like say my words were like a knife. I can get to where it hurts. And I just can't remember what I said to her though. But then when I got there and I saw that shit, I was like, bitch, I'm about to call the cops on you. And so she like took off. She like took off with her dog to Austin. And I don't even remember. I had to like convince her to come back because I needed something that she had. She had like a key to my shop, or I don't remember what it was. But I needed it, so I couldn't let her just go to Austin and dip out on me forever. That wasn't gonna work. Yeah, but it just made me think, I often think about that there was a pharaoh, apparently, that got mad at Thoth, because Thoth, the Egyptian guy, right, also known as Trismegistus. I feel like there's one other name for him, but I can't remember right now. But Thoth brought writing to the Egyptian people, right? And this fucking pharaoh was like, you've ruined the people's memory now. Because now they don't have to remember things. They can just write it down, and now their memories are going to be lessened. And I was like, holy shit, like, 'cause that's so true. Like, you hear that and you're like, nah, that can't be right, because, like, writing has progressed us so far. But it's like progressed us so far in an outward way, not an inward way. And so it's like, it's interesting. It's interesting to think about. That's definitely something I think about. I think about that probably more than I should. Definitely. Wow. I guess I should just drop like 5 or 6 episodes, because I made like 5 or 6 different episodes since the last one I fucking dropped. And I just haven't dropped any of them. I don't know, I just haven't hit upload. They're ready to go. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm like, okay, maybe my kids will just find them in my computer, but that's probably not likely. We'll see, I guess. So let's see what's happening in the world. The world is exploding with Epstein shit, right? Going pretty crazy. I don't really get into any of that shit anymore. I don't care. I mean, it's interesting to hear about it. I'll put on a video and let it play, but I'm not really tuned into it. It's just like, I don't want to say that Rome never died, but it's like Rome never died. Like, because this is just like what's been happening, like the Roman emperors were notorious for like this kind of shit. I think it was, man, please don't murder me in the comments, but please tell me if I'm wrong. I believe it was Tiberius who had I feel like it's not Tiberius as I'm saying it, but we're just gonna say Tiberius for the story's sake, I guess. I can't fucking remember who it was. I don't think it was him though, and I don't think it was Caligula, but I think it was Tiberius. Had a plantation, a home, a villa, whatever they called them in Rome. Had a villa on top of a mountain, and up on this mountain he had a pool up there, and he had young boys at this pool that would swim around, and he wanted them to like nibble at his penis while he was in the pool, and he called this group of boys his minnows. And like, it's just the same thing that's probably going on now. Like, you know, like it's never, I mean, I don't know, like it's just crazy. It's crazy to think that someone could do stuff like that to a kid in general. Like, people are like, oh, you have no soul. And it's like, maybe the soul is just not developed. And it's like, oh, but they're a billionaire. You would think that they're like top of the fucking peak human consciousness. And like, I don't think so, obviously, because top of the line peak human consciousness doesn't do things like that. Like, that's fucking wild. That's fucking wild. Those poor babies. And I don't just mean like little ones. I mean like all the way to fucking 17, even like past that, to be honest. Like, you know, some like 20-year-olds and shit, they're not fucking developed. I don't think I was a developed 20-year-old till, you know, well, or like a developed person at all until I was like late into my 30s. Even now in my 40s, I feel like I'm still developing. You know, for me, I guess the goal is just to keep developing, you know, like, I don't know. And it seems like people that take like a lot of mushrooms trying to develop their consciousness and shit like that just end up crazy as fuck. Like, you know, like they're like, oh, ego death, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, like I've had a few friends that have talked like that, and I'm just like, motherfucker, you wouldn't even be here if it weren't for your ego. Like, your ego literally keeps you alive. You know, it's the same fucking argument always with me and everybody. It's just like, there must be a balance. There must be a balance. That's what the universe wants. The universe wants it all. It wants everything. It wants the good. It wants the bad. It wants the joy. It wants the sadness. It wants everything. It's a greedy thing. And it wants everything. And so, like, there must be balance. There always must be balance. And I don't even remember why I'm talking about balance now. I guess, like, you know, like, I don't know. I just know that you can't, like, everybody thinks that the world's just going to be a good place. And it's just, you can't be surprised that it's not, you know, like, because you can't really like know joy if you don't know pain, and it's like, I don't know, it's so horrible. But there's no way that these people are balanced. There's no way that like these billionaires that partake in these things, even like Bill Gates, weak ass, like you know, they try to parade themselves like they're so mentally strong. Like, oh, look at me, I'm a billionaire, I'm so fucking smart. And it's just like, oh, I just want to snap their necks sometimes. Like, not sometimes, all the time. I just want to snap them. And I'm not, like, being for real, you know, like, but it's just, like, it's ridiculous. Like, how do you fucking go, like, you know, and it's not even proven, right, because it's an email to himself, apparently. Jeffrey put an email to himself about Bill Gates needing, you know, medicine he can give to his wife on the down low that she won't know about. And because he caught something from some Russian prostitutes, which is like so funny. And it's even funnier when I hear this argument about like, well, billionaires can't just go into a bar and meet a bitch. Like, the fuck, I couldn't. Give me $1 billion. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this makes no fucking sense. Like, yeah, like you're like meeting women the other way, like through fucking Epstein or whatever they're fucking trying to get at, is like any better than meeting a bitch at a bar. Like, you're gonna get a better result that way? Like, shut up. Like, this is insanity. And it's like, it's like a complete lack of control of your fucking sexual fucking desires. You like, and I said something to my neighbor one time, and this is like a belief I have. Okay, like this is a deep belief I have, and I'm talking about me myself. I'm not free from anything. I'm a slave like everybody else, but we're all slaves to something. You're a slave to your bank account, or you're a slave to your job, or to your children, or to your vices. Like, I mean, your phone, your fucking whatever you like. You're a slave to that, because like that's what we seek, are these things that give us pleasure. Like that's like how our brain works. That's why we're so easily tricked. That's why we're so easily tricked. So it's like everyone's a slave to something. And I told him that because he was bragging about something with his benefits. And I was like, you're a fucking slave. You're a slave too, to your fucking benefits. And he was like, no, I'm free with benefits. I'm free with benefits. And it's like, bitch, you wouldn't be doing anything without those benefits. So how can you be free? How can you be free? You're not free. You're a slave. Everyone's a slave. I'm a slave to my job. I'm a slave to my employees, to be honest, because like I do everything for them. Like it's like I provide a job for them. Like I wanted to quit so many times. I was just like, fuck this shit. It gets so stressful. And because you have to be made for tattooing. Like you have to understand that like it has a slow season, and you have to be willing to deal with it. And most people can't. They can't. They have to get other jobs and things like that, which suck, or their life just doesn't permit it to happen. Like I got really lucky in my life. And so like, I just, and I'm also prepared. I get it. I understand how this game works. So I'm a slave to that. I'm a slave to my kids for sure, to my wife, to everything. I mean, I make my own choices and I do what I want, but at the same time, like I don't make a choice without thinking about them, and that being a factor. So in a way, I'm a slave to that. That's like Buddha. The story of Buddha is so interesting because he's a prince, right? Had never left the palace walls, had never seen anything like that, and he finally goes out of the palace walls, right? And he sees a homeless person. He sees all this fucking shit, and he's just like, oh my God, like what is this? And then he's got like a kid, I think, if not kids. I think he's got a kid though, with a princess, because he's a prince, and there's a little Prince Junior or some shit, and he left them, and they're like, people are like, oh, he's so noble. He's so noble because he left being a prince to be a fucking vagabond or whatever the fuck he did, like to go travel and preach his little message, which is, great. It's a great message, everything, but he left his kid. It's like he considered his child a tether that tethered him to this life. And I learned like a really good lesson about that in that story, but I just felt like, God damn, that's a shitty way to look at your children, is that they're like a tether that is holding you here or holding you to this place, And I'll tell you, or like he just felt like they were keeping him from enlightenment. And I think that's a ridiculous thing to say, because I think you can still get enlightenment and move on to the next phase of this thing by being a good parent and being a good person. Like, how is it not possible? Like, how would having good morals and good standards not lead you to the next thing? Like, there's this book called 1666. It's by like Robert Seffer, and it's like, and I never heard about this fucking Jewish guy that he talks about, but it's about this guy that was a priest, and he was like, had a big following, like in the 1600s, had like 1 million people that followed him on social media. I don't know where they followed him, but they followed him apparently, and were followers of his religion. And his whole thing was that he believed that you could achieve what I was just talking about, the next step in consciousness, heaven, paradise, whatever it is, you could achieve that by sinning. And so, like, that's where a lot of these Franxist fucking things came into the occult societies. The people like Jeffrey Epstein and all those motherfuckers were all into all this shit, this Freemason stuff. All that shit got introduced by Zebedee, because why wouldn't you, if you're just a weak motherfucker, why wouldn't you just be pulled by your loins into doing the most depraved shit? You've got no reason not to. You've already won. Your life is paradise, right? So there is no struggle for you. Your life is paradise. Even though you catch STDs, you probably got a wrinkly old dick and, you know, whatever. But it's just like, so like that's where like a lot of that comes from. The funny thing about that guy is a Muslim, you know, prince or Muslim king or some shit, you know, arrested him or got him in front of him and was like, he's like, if you don't, you know, if you're a Messiah, because he claimed to be a Jewish Messiah, and he was like, if you're a Messiah, then I'll just kill you right now. What's to stop me from killing you right now? And so the guy was like, I'll become a Muslim. And so this Jewish fucking evil Jew, like, changed everything, became a Muslim, but secretly still practiced what he originally practiced. And so that became a thing a lot of these people do too, is they practice one religion in the open for you to look at, and then behind closed doors they're a completely different person. That's like, you know, as above, so below shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, and as above, so below goes everywhere. When I walk through a field and I see all these flowers laid across the fucking field in front of me, I think about how many stars I see when I look at the sky. And so I just think as above, so below. Like, it's all the same shit. It works for fucking anything. You can try this. I promise. But I don't know, man. I don't fucking know. These people are just wild. They're just fucking wild. You know, they're just weak individuals. And that's the thing. They all think they're so smart. Oh, this chair sucks. They all think they're so smart. And they did something. You did nothing. Like, you did nothing. I don't know. I've said this for a long time, that nothing is going to change until we go rip them out of their beds in the middle of the night. Like, nothing will ever change. And people are so, I was telling everyone at the tattoo shop this yesterday. I was like, people are so comfortable and they're so pleasured by everything around them that these elites can do whatever they want, because we're not willing to risk what we have to stop what they're doing. Like, that's just the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Like, you know, like, I think about that shit when, you know, our founding fathers, you know, saying that we have the right to bear arms from a tyrannical government. It's like, America probably will never do that. Like, because we're so comfortable. Like, things would have to be, like, really bad for that to happen. And I feel like by that point, they would have already psyoped everyone out of all their weapons anyway, so I don't know. There is no answer. The only answer is to just witness everything around you and make decisions for yourself. My wife got so upset about this paramedic, right, that got shot, or this fucking nurse that got shot at that fucking thing. And she started telling me about it. She goes, another protester got shot. She sat down on the couch and she was upset about it. And I was like, why aren't these people why aren't they at work? Like, why aren't you at work? Go to work and this won't happen to you. Like, I would never put my life in jeopardy for some dumb shit. Like, I would never go to a protest ever. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm psyop so much that I'll just never do it. But I wouldn't put myself in that kind of a situation. That's craziness. And then to go with a loaded gun and all that stuff, you know? And I just remember she told me about it, and that's what I thought. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I don't give a shit about that person. Like, you know, like, he shouldn't have been playing stupid games. Like, have you never watched the body cam, like, in your life? Like, people are not normal. People are fucking dangerous. Especially when they're, like, hyped up on propaganda and, like, politically motivated. It's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I just can only imagine what kind of a world they think they live in. Because, like, my world's pretty good. And so, like, I don't, you know, I go to work, I do tattoos, I come home, and I spend time with my family, and that's it. And we go to Costco. Like, that's it. That's all we do. I mean, we play. That's it. We have fun. Like, I just don't understand some people. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about now. But anyway, that's 20 minutes. I'll keep it short because this chair sucks, and I've only got so much time alone today. Everyone left my house. Oh, you know what? Let me finish that because I was talking about that fucking paramedic or whatever that guy was. And it's just like, and then all this shit comes out, and he's like, Jewish and stuff, and it's like, I don't know about your algorithm, but mine is like so like Jews this, Jews that. I'm just like so tired of it. Because before that it was fucking black people this, black people that. Like now it's the Jews, and it's just like I'm just so over my fucking algorithms trying to push me one way or the other. And my friends were telling me the same thing. One of them was going down a Jewish rabbit hole on his phone, and it fucked him up. He's like, I don't know what to think, and I'm just like, think nothing. Think nothing, because that's what you can do. I was like, if you choose to think something or to have an opinion that you stand on, I was like, they have won by pushing you one direction or the other. I was like, be unpushable, be invisible. Like, don't let them control how you feel. My friend taught me this a long time ago, when Obama was president. He was like, and this is a black guy that taught me this, one of my best friends. I saw him the last 3 days, every day in a row. And, but he taught me this, and we were talking about it last night. And it's like, I was posting all these videos on Facebook of groups of black kids jumping people, right? And I was like, what the fuck's happening and all this shit. And he's the only friend I had, he's the only black friend I had that was like, these videos are really old. He's like, go look at the timestamp on this video. And so I went to go look at the timestamp, and it was super old. I was like, oh, I'm over here thinking this is going on now. And so that's when I realized, you don't know what you're looking at. You really don't. And so I didn't make an opinion on that shit with the fucking nurse. I didn't make an opinion. I came back into my house a couple hours later, and she had this fucking upset look on her face, and I go, what's wrong with you? And she goes, she didn't even look at me. She just kept doing what she was doing. And she goes, that fucking nurse. And I go, oh my God, you're bringing this into our house. Grow up, please stop. You would never go to a protest. Shut up. She did the same thing about abortion. She got all fucking bent out of shape. I'm just like, who gives a fuck? You'd never get an abortion. Who cares? Why do you give a fuck? Honestly, if you would never get an abortion, why do you give a shit? It's about women's right to choose. Shut up. No one cares. It's just you just want to fight the fight. You would never do this, so this really shouldn't matter to you at all. But you want to have some sort of say in it. I get it, but that's the game. That's the game they're playing. They're trying to divide you, all of us. They don't want us to die for each other. That's exactly why right now we're too comfortable, because we wouldn't do that for each other. We won't do that. We won't. We're too about our cars and about our stuff and our porn or whatever the fuck you're into. You know what I mean? We wouldn't do that. All right. Well, I'm in this rant now. Like I said, these bitches are gone right now. They went to our sister's house. I never had the house to myself. I've been alone for a few hours before I decided to do this, and I fear that time may be coming to a close and they may be heading home. So I'm gonna see you dudes later. All right. Hope you enjoyed my fucking spiel. Mwah.